Måneskin, 20 years old, here is Toscani's live video, text and photo. Måneskin sing the new single 20 Years Live in Rome, here's the video and the text. The song is a manifesto of the band members but also a naked photo of Oliviero Toscani and a preview of the next songs or the future album. Damiano David, Victoria de Angelis, Thomas Raggi and Ethan Torchio talk to the press about projects and fears. The group, guest of Star Walks, when PArCo meets music at the Colosseum Archaeological Park, previews the single with a live performance in the incomparable setting of the imperial palaces on the Palatine, an exhibition without an audience in one of the most iconic places in the world, in their Rome. 20 years. Friday, October 30, 2020 is the date that marks the return of the most irreverent and provocative Italian band, which has conquered the charts in recent years. 20 Years is the new single by Damiano, Victoria, Thomas and Ethan aka Måneskin. 2 years after the debut album The Dance of Life, double platinum disc, the group returns to the scene in grand style with a direct and introspective track that kicks off a new phase of the group, a deliberately long and analog track, with final Absalon and 70s rock references, to bring their live dimension inside the recording studio. Oliviero Toscani. The photograph, above \, that portrays the naked and embracing Måneskin and which for this reason has been hidden by Instagram has appeared on the walls and in the stations of the great Italian cities, representing their ideal of freedom. The collaboration for this campaign stems from the artistic affinities with the photographer with a strong and important personality. It was a natural choice, there was a wonderful exchange between us, says the band Hidden. Singer Damiano explains, we looked for him because we know his works. His images become sources of debate, create rifts in the public, so a dialogue is born and from there then there is progress. Our goal was to create a discussion to take a step, even a small one, forward. On the campaign Oliviero Toscani declared, freedom does not mean being free to do what you want. I, for example, feel free when I am chained to a project, because in that moment I get rid of all my complexes and limitations. For me, being free is getting rid of complexes, not being afraid of making mistakes, starting over. It means being free to question everything. Future. Thomas talks about the new album. We can't reveal anything, but there will be some nice surprises. Now we are focused on the launch of 20 Years. We worked on how to express certain themes. There will be a change, cool and interesting things await us. A giant journey begins. Damiano adds, in life we didn't have a plan B besides music. Luckily we had 4 aces. We think only of this, all the time. If a guitar line or an idea comes to mind, we have to run and write. We were lucky enough to be successful when very young. This also means growing together, gaining awareness of ourselves and of what we want to represent, so we found ourselves more and more in agreement on the direction to take. 20 Years, the text. The new single tells of that age with emotions that all generations have in common. The song was born from a guitar riff by Thomas on which Damiano's words have settled, in the quarantine phase when the members of the band have created their own home studios, working on their own instruments and on raw and powerful sounds. I imagined I was my father's age, around 50. I wrote what I myself wish I had heard from someone older now that I'm 20. The hope is that words can help our peers, the youngest and even the oldest. These feelings affect everyone, says the singer. I imagined I was my father's age, around 50. I wrote what I myself wish I had heard from someone older now that I'm 20. The hope is that words can help our peers, the youngest and even the oldest. These feelings affect everyone, is the verse of the text that represents the meaning of everything. Written by Måneskin and produced with Fabrizio Ferragamo, 20 Years is a raw and contemporary rock ballad written in the form of an open letter in which Damiano's thoughts are intertwined with those of his more mature alter ego, giving life to a dialogue that wants to encourage 20-year-olds who are often already disillusioned under the weight of judgments and uncertainties about the future. It is a song that the group dedicates to their generation, a message full of freedom and the desire to leave their mark, an appeal that wants to reach the public, in particular to Generation Z who grew up on bread and social networks where the appearance, the being what you are not and hating are often a source of great anxiety, where you feel the impossibility of living a love freely following your own inclinations due to stereotypes and prejudices.